Hey everybody, we are back to Attack of the B Team. I think today I'm going to be doing, let's see, I think tool modifiers and oreberry bushes. Let me just give you a quick update on what's going on here. I've got a lot of rotten flesh working, making into jerky. These bushes are coming along pretty nicely. Some of them are already fully grown to the ceiling. Starting to get a pretty good stack of berries in there. This is all my random food, cooked or raw, and mushrooms that you can't eat directly, but you make food out of them. And this is all the seeds and other random bushes that grow berries, none of which I need at the moment. I've got food pretty much under control here. Still some strawberries and tomatoes growing here. Let's see. What else did I do? I did a lot of mining. Oh yeah, I went and found a bunch of morphs. So now I've got... I can be a bat, which helps out a lot because you can fly around. I went into the nether and I got blaze. I basically just turned into an imp. Alright, I turned into a bat. Flew around in the nether, found a fortress. There was one not too far away, like to the southwest a little bit. Found the blaze spawner. Turned into an imp, so I was immune to the fireballs and stuff. Killed a blaze, so now I get the blaze morph, so then I can fly and be immune to fire and lava. That makes exploring around in the nether way simpler. Also, I flew around. Here's the world map. This is the jungle we started in. I marked that the spot where that room was with the spawner in it. I went and looted the chest in there. There was not really anything important in there, just some miscellaneous junk. So this is where we are in this wasteland biome. You see to the southeast of us here, there's these two slime islands. I'll eventually fly up there and check those out, show you guys what's up with those. There's a little bit of a witchery circle just north of those, down here on the ground. That pool of poison, liquid poison that was above my smeltery, I cleared that out. It was, let's see, 32 buckets worth, I think. I stored all that in some tanks that I made. But I flew to the north. I just picked a direction and went. There's a pretty good landmass over this direction. We got like some plains. There's a couple of ravines in here. Miscellaneous, just berries, trees, and bushes and things I was looking for. Did a little bit of mining in the ravines. There's a snowy area and a... Let's see, what biome is that? I'm not sure which one this is. But it's got like dirt and sand in it. I'm not sure the name of it. But anyway, did a little bit of exploring, resource gathering, things like that. But let's get into the tool modifiers. I pulled the shovel down, our old broken and busted old wooden shovel here. And let me go ahead and repair it. Thought I pulled out some sticks already for this. Okay, I guess I'll just make some more. Okay, so let's repair our shovel. Oh, they're already in the... I know I left them somewhere. Okay, so just fix our shovel. Now there's lots of different modifiers you can put on your tools and weapons that you make with the Tinker's Construct stuff. Which one of these has the modifiers in it? I'll just check both of them. Oh, this one. Okay. Okay, so there's all the different tools, materials, and modifiers are right here. So in the tool station, you put your tool, and then you put certain items, and they give your tools and weapons special properties. In this case, adding a diamond adds more durability to your tool. And if you put it on a pickaxe specifically, then the mining level increases to level 3, which is that essentially means it acts as though it is a diamond pickaxe for all intents and purposes. If it's a pickaxe that's already better than diamond, then it totally ignores that. It just adds the durability. Adding an emerald does about the same thing, just not as good. Speed, this one I use on everything. Speed, if you put on a tool, it makes that tool work faster. So if you're on a pickaxe, then you mine stone quicker. If it's on an axe, it cuts wood faster. Things like that. It says here not useful on weapons. That's true. It doesn't make you swing faster or deal more damage or anything like that. So it's all for tools. And it takes a lot, actually. Yeah, 0.08 per 1 redstone, but you can also put a block of redstone in there to do 9 at a time. And it takes 50 redstone to do 1 rank, like 1 full upgrade is 50 redstone, so almost a stack. But in this mod pack, redstone is pretty much everywhere, so not really a problem. Okay, auto repair. This one's going to take some explanation. So when you use tools, like our shovel that we broke, instead of using sticks on it to repair it, if you have a more complicated tool that's harder to repair, or is using a material other than wood, and you don't want to keep going and finding the material to repair your tools, you just stick this ball of moss on there, and the durability will slowly recharge on its own over time. Now, to make this ball of moss, this isn't a thing you can naturally find out in the world. You actually have to craft this item. And it's not super complicated once you know how to do it. And I made quite a few of them off camera and applied it to all my tools. I fixed up all mine, and I'll show you what they do here in a little bit. But let me show you how to make this ball of moss. It's very handy. So you get a bucket and some cobblestone. Take your bucket, just add water, go to your crafting table, bucket of water in the middle, put cobblestone around it, and then you make mossy cobblestone. You can also take this from like spawner rooms if you have a spawner somewhere, like that skeleton one that I found on day 1. I actually went and looted a little bit of that cobblestone out of there, the mossy. But you can craft it just like this. It makes 8. It turns the cobblestone into mossy cobblestone. And you get your bucket back. It kicks your bucket down here somewhere. But you're going to need more than 8. Let me grab one more round of that. It actually takes 9. So you take your cobblestone and just put it back in the crafting table, fill the whole thing, and it gives you the ball of moss right there. So I've already got one sitting here. And I've got a few more in a chest here. I've made a few. Anyway, so to apply this to a tool, I think you can do it in the tinker table also. Yeah, you can put it in the tinker table here, but the book explains it. It wants you to put it here. This first little icon on the left is your like repair and modifier tab. You just put it in there. Either one of these works. And it tells you all how many modifiers are left on the tool, what you will gain after doing this, whatever you've got set up. This shows you the result. So let's say our shovel, we want to go ahead and put repair on it, just like that. You can also name it when you do that. Before you put the before you pull it out, you can add a name to it if you want to. But this is just my demonstration tool, and I'm just showing you guys how this all works. Okay, so back to the book. All the way down to the end here. Wish there was a table of contents. You just click where you want to go. Alright, so the next one is auto smelting by using this lava gem, and you actually have to craft this too. I'm not sure how to do that, but I can look it up real quick for you. This lava gem, when you add it to to a a pickaxe, if you mine like a copper ore out of the wall, instead of getting the copper ore, you get a copper ingot. So it automatically smelts the ore as you're mining it. Now for this mod pack, again, not super handy on a pickaxe because you might as well bring the ore back to the smeltery and get double worth out of it. You'll get 2 back instead of just the 1. If you put it on a weapon, it will light mobs on fire for 3 seconds, so they take fire damage for 3 seconds. If you put it on an axe, it's not even listed here. If you put it on a like a hatchet and you cut down a tree with it, the tree will give you charcoal instead of wood. So if you're going to be making charcoal anyway, that's a handy thing to put on your axe. And it says not compatible with Silky. So Silk Touch tool, if you don't know what Silk Touch is, when you mine stone, like say this stone block right here, if I mine that stone out with a pickaxe, you get cobblestone, which is like the broken apart version. If you mine it with a tool that has Silk Touch, you get the stone block itself, like the smooth stone. You don't have to smelt it, you don't have to cook it back into a smooth stone or anything. So it also works on like grass, special grass blocks and things, because when you dig up a grass block, you get dirt, not grass. So it'll like save the grass on there. But the lava gem will not stack with Silk Touch. It acts like a normal pickaxe. If you're even able to put them both on the same tool, I haven't tried it. Okay. No solicitors. Take your arrows elsewhere. Alright, next on the list. Let me see, there's not too many more. There's a couple of really fun ones. But mainly I just stick to, oh here it tells you how to make the ball of moss and the lava crystal. So the lava crystal is flame charges, a lava bucket, and 4 blaze rods. So kind of expensive actually. You have to go into the nether and get all this stuff. Okay, so luck is the next one. That adds fortune to your tool, which if it's on a pickaxe, you get more ore when you're mining. So if you mine like, let's say you mine a coal block, instead of getting 1, you have a chance of getting multiples, depending on how high up the level of luck is on your tool. If you put this on a weapon, then mobs that you kill have a higher drop rate for their items. And also not compatible with Silk Touch. So you can't get the ore block as it sits in the wall and the items out of it at the same time. So it doesn't quite work that way. You gotta pick one or the other. But it takes a lot of lapis to max out one tool with a few levels of luck. And I've started doing that on my sword because I want my sword to have increased drop rating. Moving on, sharpness. You add quartz, the nether quartz, to a tool or to a weapon, and it adds damage straight to the weapon. And it takes a pretty decent amount, not a whole lot, but a good amount of quartz to get levels of sharpness. And that adds damage just like 1 at a time, not like 1 to 1, but it's like I don't know, 20 to 1 or something like that. But I don't usually put quartz on my tools because there's an armor set. It's called the exosuit that I'll be making here in a little while, and I add damage to that. It like just makes you hit harder, and then I just put luck on my weapon, so then I can one-shot mobs and get all their drops faster. Next one, fiery. You add blaze powder to a weapon, and it lights enemies on fire when you hit them. Every 5 blaze powder that you add to your weapon adds 1 second of fire damage. Next one, necrotic bone. You get these from killing the wither skeletons in the nether fortresses, and they're kind of a rare drop, not like super hard to get, but it's going to take a minute to get one. You add that to a weapon and you get lifesteal. So every time you attack a mob, regardless of the damage you deal, you get 1 heart back. So even if you one-shot the mob, if you hit like for 20 damage, you only get 1 heart back, but they stack. So you can put like 3 or 4 on a weapon, and just every time you attack the monster you get like 4 hearts back. But each one of the bones takes up a modifier slot on your weapon, so you can't really do a whole lot of them. Alright, and then Silky. That's to add Silk Touch to your weapon. I explained that a minute ago. This gem you actually have to craft by using like an emerald and some string and some other stuff. If there's a recipe here. Yeah, so it's 8 string around either a brass or a gold nugget. I think it's either brass or gold. It doesn't explain it here in the book. It just shows you a picture. But yeah, I think it's brass or gold, and it makes this little cloth, and you have to make 4 of those and put them around a emerald, and that gets the gem, and you add that to your tool. Alright, next one, reinforced. You make these large plates out of obsidian in your smeltery, like how I made the other little obsidian parts. The large plate takes 8 ingots worth of material to make 1. And this adds a reinforced to your tool, which makes it last longer, like the durability doesn't degrade quite as fast. And these will stack, but I think each one takes its own modifier slot. But if you start with a tool that already has reinforced as a trait, it just adds to that number. Next one is knockback. You just add a piston to your tool. This one can be really fun with certain weapons, like the really large, the battle axe that you can create has knockback, like just innately on itself. It does a pretty decent amount of knockback, and then you get like a stack of pistons and put it on there, and you can kick a mob like 30 blocks away from you. You just hit it and it flies off. So it can be fun. It doesn't add damage or anything, but you can really throw mobs around with it. Next one is beheading. You add a ender pearl and a block of obsidian to a weapon. Gives it the beheading property. This will make mobs drop their heads more often. But I think with looting you get them fairly often anyway, except for the ones that don't drop their heads at all. This will let most everything drop a head. I don't think it works on bosses, but a lot of mobs will. And then you can wear it yourself, like a mask. Bane of Arthropods. This one you get a fermented spider eye, which is a spider eye with sugar and a little brown mushroom. And you put that on your weapon, and it does extra damage to spiders. So that one, unless you know you're going to fight a lot of spiders, not really handy. You might as well just add damage to your weapon. Next one is Smite. You make this graveyard soil. It's like dirt with rotten flesh around it and some other stuff. I think it's like rotten flesh and string and something else. But you add that to your tool and it does extra damage to undead, so skeletons and zombies, which is probably more useful than Bane of Arthropods because there's more zombies and skeletons than there are spiders. But again, unless you know you're going to be fighting specifically a lot of them, then I would just go with straight damage because it's universally useful. Oh, graveyard soil is dirt with rotten flesh and a bone meal. That makes that, and then you cook it. Next one is Flux. This one you have to get into using like Flux Energy, which I haven't got to yet. I'm just getting all my tools done, getting all my resources gathered, and then I'll just dig straight into all this automation and tools and machines. Because once you have the resources and don't have to go find them every 5 minutes, you can just go straight through and make all your machines and not have to worry about stopping. But this turns your tool from using durability to recharging with energy. So you have to like put it back in a little energetic infuser and it charges back up. But makes it kind of pointless if you're auto-repairing your tools anyway. But like it repairs them but faster. But you have to keep returning to the station to recharge them. Anyway. This I think is exactly the same, but like for some mod packs or some interactions it doesn't work quite right. So they have to use the other one. So additional modifiers. Tools only have a certain number of modifiers depending on what you make them out of. The highest being paper, but then it's like really weak, but it has a lot of modifiers, so kind of a trade-off. But if you add a diamond and a gold block to your tool, it adds a modifier slot, so then you can take that slot and add another modifier to it. And this only works once. You can only do this once per tool. You can also add a golden apple and a block of diamond to your tool. That adds another modifier slot, and you can only do that once. And this stacks with the other one, so you can do this once, and then do this once. And then you can add another modifier with a wither star. The nether star from the wither boss. You add that and it makes another slot. So you can have 3. And then this one is for like custom maps. You get this little golden player head thing. And that will stack on your tool any number of times. So for like custom maps, if the map maker wants somebody to just pick these up and add to a tool some number of times higher than 3, then they can put these in their map. But they're unobtainable except for like creative. Alright, so that's all the modifiers. So our little dummy shovel here now has auto repair. And I generally add haste to my weapons and tools. Well, my tools anyway. So see, you add 1. Let me, I was looking up necromancy stuff. Let me just get rid of that. Clear these items. Okay. So adding 1 redstone. See the mining speed? It goes up to 2.07. That's 1 piece of redstone. You add 2, it'll be 2.16. And see down here at the bottom it says 2 out of 50. So you'd have to add 50 to get it to go all the way up to like the next, to use up that 1 modifier. It says modifier remaining 1. Let me just make this a little faster. So each block adds 9, so there's 33, 42, and then I gotta break that back down for the rest. 43, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. So that will be exactly 50, and that puts the mining speed up to 6. And if I want to add another level of haste, it'll take 50 more, and then it will be modifier remaining 0. Like it doesn't have it, it doesn't say there's any modifiers remaining. So 1 more modifier is all I've got left. So if I want to add something else to it now, see modifier remaining 1. This is the current tool. If I want to add another level of haste to it, I can do that now. If I want to add another level of repair, because the repair stacks, to make it repair faster, I can do that now. But I'll just leave it like that. Just the show you how to add those and stuff. And let me hang that back up right here. So here's the set of tools that I made off camera. Well, I made them on camera, but then I added the modifiers off camera. So first, there's our Manilian sword. It's got reinforced 3 on it because of the parts that it's made out of. I added 1 level of auto repair with pieces of moss, and I've started adding lapis to it to increase my drop rates when I kill stuff with it. I'm at 251 out of 450. So got a ways to go adding lapis to that, but see there it says looting 1 at the bottom. That eventually goes all the way up to 3, I think, looting 3. Whenever you max this out, somewhere in the 300s it'll go up to 2, and then whenever it's at 450 it has 3 on it. Next is the pickaxe. I went ahead and added 2 levels of moss to that because I'm going to be using the pickaxe quite a bit, and I don't want it like breaking. So auto repair 2, and I added one level of haste to it just to kick up the speed a little bit. Next is the cobalt axe. It's just got 1 level of repair and 1 level of haste on it, and I've still got a modifier remaining in case I want to add anything else to it. I might add another level of haste to it, but I don't know yet, so I'm just going to leave it as is. And the shovel is exactly the same. 1 level of repair, 1 level of haste. And really that's all you need for them, because the cobalt, with like that 1 level of haste, makes them really fast. Let me go out here. So like the sand, yeah, like instant mines out sand. The axe instant mines out like, well, it doesn't like instant mine trees, but it goes pretty quick. And for now my sword doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but I haven't made any of that armor yet, and whenever I make that and put that on, then I'll be doing a ridiculous amount of damage, even with just my bare hands. I think with no weapon I can punch for like 27, which is 13.5 hearts, plus the base half a point of damage that you do. So like 14 hearts of damage with no weapon. Oh yeah, I put those chests outside. Well, let me sleep real quick and kick it back to day. Oh, there's monsters nearby. Alright, let me clear off my front lawn here. And then go sleep. Dang it. I've also got a bunch of sugarcane growing here. I'm going to eventually use that to generate power. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but you'll see the setup whenever I get it made. Clear out all these guys and then hit the bed. Can't sleep while you're turned into a mob or anything. There's a way in the like the mod settings that you can sleep when you're transformed, but I haven't modified any of that. I haven't changed any of those settings. And there's an Enderman in here again. It's probably one of the friendly ones. Zombies burning up outside. Is that a friendly one? That's a regular one. Hey you. Want an ender pearl. Put away some of this. Might as well put this in there for now. These little necromancy bits, I have a chest outside. I'm putting them in for later. Same with the witchery mod stuff. I don't have a whole lot of that yet, but when I get into those, I want them to be where I can find them. Alright, get rid of some of this random stuff here. Here's these tanks of poison that I mentioned. Let me set these up somewhere just to look at. Yeah, right next to the bed. Why not? So these tanks are from open blocks. You make them with 4 obsidian and some glass panes in the crafting bench. Actually, let me just pull it up in the NEI here. Tank. Oh, close the crafting table. So it's 4 obsidian in the corners, and then the rest filled in with glass panes, and it makes 2 tanks per thing. You make 2 at a time, and each tank holds 16 buckets of liquid. Now the cool thing about these tanks is they share liquid between each other. Let me pull a bucket out and demonstrate this. See, so I take the bucket out of the bottom one, and the top one fills that gap in. Like it applies gravity and things. So if I take this one off, in my inventory it says 15, like 15,000 MB, which is 15 buckets worth. Now if I stick this next to that one, they share inventory. So now this one's at 15,500 and that one's at 15.5. So you can pick this one back up. See, that one stays at 15.5, 15.5, and this one's at 15.5. You put it back on top, and it fills the gap back in 15 and 16. And I can just fill that one back in 16. So they're really handy. You can make like a big long chain of them, and they'll like flow down where you need them to go. Like if you want to make a tube, kind of sort of, you can do that out of them. Plus they're cool to look at. Certain fluids will glow, like if you have a tank full of lava, it actually emits light. I was gonna make a few more of them and just put random liquids in them, like start a collection of stuff, but I don't need to quite yet. Go ahead and collect these and reset them. Alright, what else was I gonna do today? Oreberries. So I found some of these oreberry bushes, and I've seen in videos where people like build this big room off on the side somewhere and a bunch of other like unnecessary things to get these to grow. The thing with oreberries is they only produce berries and grow in total dark, or almost total dark. It's gotta be pretty dark for them to grow. See, I can put one here, but it will never grow because it's too bright in here. This one here is a little different. This one grows experience, and it doesn't care the light level. It grows little experience berries that you eat and get experience out of. So I've got it here where I can just grab it whenever it's ready. But these other ones, let me show you how I set these up to where they don't have to have like their own special room or anything. You can just walk up and grab them. Oh, also, I guess they changed that. You didn't used to be able to put them on regular stone. You actually had to put them on like cobblestone or a player created block. You couldn't put them like on a natural stone block, which was weird. I guess they changed it back. Anyway, so I'm just gonna dig out a hole here to put them so I can pick them and then throw them in the smeltery. I want to keep them right next to my smeltery if I can. Okay, so let me just do these because I've got 3 of them. So you put them there, and I'm going to put a torch here so I don't have to worry about things spawning in here. See, that one grew a little bit because it was still dark in here. But crafting table. You make slabs, and you put slabs down, and then just fill the rest in with blocks. Boom. See? Total dark in there. Because as far as light values go, this block here, even though it's only half a block tall, counts as a full block when it determines lighting in an area. So even though you can see through it and click through it, it thinks that's a solid block. With a torch right there, it's still pitch black on the other side of it. So these berries are in total 100% darkness, and they will grow in there. Now when this one is fully grown, it will take up that entire square, so it'll actually be flush with the edge of that block right here. So it'll look like that, like it'll be flat against the block, and you can just walk up and right click on it and pick them off there. And you don't have to worry about having a big dark room that things are going to spawn in, or like mess around with lighting, like automate lighting on and off or whatever, like hidden glowstone or some crap. That's all you do. And if you want to put them like two levels tall, let me demonstrate that real quick. So you can actually put one on top of this one, but to do that, you have to put a block down, put the berry on it, take the block out, it will stay there, put the one back that you want there, and then just put your slabs back in. For 2 levels, you want to put one at the bottom and one at the top. That way you can just walk around the middle and click on each of them. I'll open this up a little bit more. But yeah, I'm going to do 2 rows of these down. I've got, what, 9 more here? I'm going to go ahead and fill these in. Yeah, let me get rid of that one. I got to put the bottom level in, or the top level in first. And usually I organize them. Like I'll do a row of one type and a row of another type. But for now I'm just going to leave them all just in one spot here. I hear that spider. I don't know where he is. Probably outside. Let's see, 4 more. So 1, 2, and 3, 4. Oh, I thought that was like a mud block or something. Alright, get rid of you. Put you on there. 1, 2. It's actually pretty dark in this corner right here. Not for long. Torch. And I gotta make some more slabs. There. I'll end up using them for something eventually. Alright, there it goes, getting dark in there. Boom. Oh, see that one, it grew right away. So when they're fully grown, they'll be flat with the block on the outside there, and it'll look like they're lit up, but they're not. They're still totally covered. So you can just walk by and pick the berries off when they're done. And you don't have to worry about there being a dark space for mobs to spawn in. You can have it all totally lit up and walk by and pick them off. There's also a way to automate that. There's a block called an autonomous activator that simulates, like it acts like it's a player right-clicking or left-clicking on the block directly in front of it. So you just set up one of those in front of each one of these, and it'll pull the berries off as soon as they're ready because it continually right-clicks. And you can take them out of that item into a chest or whatever, just to automate production of those. See, this one is finished growing now, right next to a torch. They don't care about light levels, the essence berries. And these you generally find underground in caves just like those, but these are usually further down in elevation, like kind of in the lava area. This one I found down there next to that lava that I'm getting for the smeltery, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where that one was. It was either there or in that ravine, I don't know. I've got 2 different maps I'm playing at once in the mod pack here. I've got one that I'm streaming on Twitch, and this one. But the one on Twitch doesn't have any views yet. I think like 1 person was watching me play for like 5 minutes and then left, so yeah. In that one I'm set up in the bottom of a ravine with my smeltery just like built halfway up the side of it and stuff. Okay, so how much time do I have here? I'm at 40 minutes already? Man, the time flies. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Next time, I guess I'll cover what to do if you don't want to spend 20 minutes emptying your smeltery out 1 block at a time. If you end up in this kind of situation where you have like a billion ingots of stuff in there, and you don't want to sit here clicking on the thing over and over, What do you do? How do you automate that so you can go off and do other things? Yep, I'll find out next episode. See you guys later. Bye.